Ralph, last hour, Netanyahu gave his first address to the nation since the announcement of the ceasefire agreement overnight. What did he say?
So, Alex, at this point, we are less than 12 hours from when this ceasefire is supposed to begin, and we are kind of in limbo because Netanyahu said that Hamas has not provided the list of the 3 female hostages who are due to be released tomorrow. And he's saying that if Hamas does not abide by this agreement, it is not going to go forward. So there are a lot of anxious people here in Hostage Square who have been gathering for 15 months now, demanding the release of the hostages. They are hoping that that is going to begin tomorrow, but there is an uncertainty hanging over this all right now. Netanyahu also talked about the role that both the president's administration under President Biden, but also the incoming administration under President-elect Trump played.
Well, people, it is Saturday. Wow, January 18th of 2024. 2025, Pearson. 2025 and 4:37 in the PM. How are you? I tell you, watching this psychological ping pong ball, are they making it more dramatic than it needs to be? How do you hold on? How do you grip a oil slick rope? How do you do it? I don't know. A lot of twists and turns. I mean, look at the headline here. Ceasefire in jeopardy. You know, as I did my research this morning and I took care of some personal business and I came back, I'm like, man, are they going to get it done? Because the promise was Sunday. I hear that on the left side of my head, which is the ear. And on the right side of my head, my other ear, I'm hearing Trump saying, look, if y'all don't get it done, by the time I get back up in there, it's going to be hell to pay. Now, I'm asking, which is it? By the same token, I did the research on TikTok because I've been like, what's going to happen with that? Do you know they say it might go dark tomorrow? Why am I putting all this in the same sentence? Because in my mind, it's symbolic. Once upon a time, Joe was negotiating the TikTok, then he pulled off, and depending on which news agency that you read, Joe was holding up the ban on TikTok. Then he says, well, I'm going to leave it up to Trump. Now Trump say, well, you know what? I'm going to give him 90 days. So which is it? We're going to get into all of that, and we're going to get into what's supposed to pop off Tuesday here in Chicago and other major cities around the United States in terms of immigration. Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened as soon as Trump put his hand on that Bible. Like I said about a month ago. I can tell you one thing when I'm going to start my immigration policy in terms of taking these illegals back, but I can do it another time and another day altogether. But people, let's get into this, because this will be an interesting video. We can start off with this. Should we? Yeah, let's start out with this. TikTok on possible shutdown. Possible. Tell me what you think here.
Statement that unless the Biden administration, which is still in office until at least Monday, immediately provides a definitive statement, TikTok will be forced to go dark on January 19th. So the company is...
Did you hear that? People, I'm not playing. I look at what they're saying. TikTok will be forced to go dark. Now, I look at this and I'm listening to Netanyahu. Okay? What are the odds that TikTok would go through what it's going through? The maybe and maybe not. And Israel is going through the same thing of maybe and maybe not with Hamas and the negotiation. Are they connected? Because a lot of people are saying, well, America doesn't want TikTok to be controlled by the Chinese. They'd rather have an American company control it because, you know, folks think that TikTok allows folks to reveal things that if it was in the hands of someone else, we wouldn't get all the information that we should. And when I think about this Israeli thing, is that one of the issues that going forward that America allegedly wants to control? I digress.
Is saying you will not be able to scroll come tomorrow. The White House responding just this afternoon saying it is a stunt. We see no reason for TikTok or other companies to take actions in the next few days before the Trump administration takes office on Monday. They are passing the statutory hot potato to the Trump administration, which sounds like TikTok will therefore not operate at least on Sunday. But what happens on Monday? We have a new president, and we just heard in an exclusive conversation with our Kristen Walker, again, moderator of Meet the Press, that Trump says he will most likely give TikTok a 90-day extension to avoid the ban, also telling Kristen Walker that if he does so, he would likely make that announcement on Monday, on Inauguration Day. So whether or not TikTok, though, comes back online on Monday is an open question, but just there's so many things up.
This is a lot, people. Again, TikTok in question, Israel in question. We're going to have the inauguration inside as opposed to outside. That's a lot. When I pulled up Donald John Trump, I started seeing some coincidences. Let's start off with this. He comes out to 76 in reverse reduction. Tick, tock, John, Donald Trump, Donald John Trump. And then TikTok by itself is 76. So TikTok is 76. In reverse gematria. Donald John Trump is 76 in reverse reduction. And if you take the date literally, 7/6/2024, subtracted from Inauguration Day, 1/20/2025, I get Trump's birthday, June 14th. Come on, man. I didn't need that. But you know how my mind go. I'm like, let me put in the 7/6. This is matching on 2 already. July 6th. Is that short for 1776 when we were founded? I don't know. All I know is that when you take the 7/6, subtract it from Inauguration Day, you get Donald Trump. He say, guess what? I'm going to give y'all 90 days. Wow. And here we go. Donald John Trump, 90 days, TikTok. What's in that, Pearson? 194. What's 194? July 13th. It's amazing, isn't it? What's July 13th? Welcome, new subscribers. That's what happened on July 13th. Fight, fight, fight. Why does that come up, the 194? I don't know. I'm just doing my decodes and I'm like, there's 713 again. It reminds me of the JFK situation. Who's going to solve as to what happened on that day, right? It's amazing. Now, let's switch over to this here. Trump's deportation plan is said to start next week in Chicago. My kind of town, Chicago is. That's why I stay. And I have a migrant shelter less than 2 blocks from me. I plan on being out there to see what's going on. Now, what I'm hearing, though, is that they're coming after the illegals that have criminal records first. That's my take. So the size of the planned immigration raids is unclear, but they would be opening step in the president-elect's goal of overseeing the largest deportation program in history. It's about to get buck wild, people. This thing came out today. Unbelievable, right? Their operation was expected to start on Tuesday and last through the following Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They're gonna go 7 whole days. Wasn't that Babyface back in the day? And what's her name saying that? Tony Braxton? 7 whole days and not a word from you. People, I'm gonna be out there. I know where at least 4 migrant shelters are. And hopefully I'll get lucky to see some action and I can show you guys what's going on. We're gonna get this in real time, people. Real time. January 18th, this was just published, 2:55 p.m. The incoming Trump administration intends to carry out post-inauguration immigration raids in Chicago next week, according to 2 people familiar with the planning and correspondence reviewed by the New York Times, an opening step in President-elect Donald J. Trump's goal to oversee the largest deportation operation in American history. The plans, called Operation Safeguard, by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, would start on Tuesday, the day after Mr. Trump is inaugurated, and last until the following Monday. They're not playing, people. They are not playing. They are not playing, and I believe I'm gonna catch somebody. I'm gonna catch something going on. What do you think, people? Do you have a migrant shelter near your neck of the woods? If you do, email me. If you catch some action, just email me, and then I can show it, as long as it's not violent. Wow. Now, Mr. Trump just left. I say he just left. And he's en route to D.C. Ain't that something? Let's check it out. I was trying to zero in on it, people, but I'm not sure. I know she's got on white. Does he have on black? Because if he does, that's the black and the white. But yeah, and Barron's in the house too. They're rolling, people. They're on their way to Washington, D.C. Now here's one of the protesters going on. This is out of Washington, D.C. So he'll have a lot of protesters around him between now and that day. Check it out.
When they say hateful things about women, they don't devalue us. They devalue themselves, okay? When are you gonna give in? Are you gonna stop? I knew it.
Awesome, thank you.
I just want to say one last thing. Or any pharmacy or any person who tries to tell you that's the case, maybe you come see me, but you also tell them Trump is not a dictator. Here is the not so good news. We don't know all the things that are coming, and it's going to feel scary some days. I can promise you that. But you know what's better than being scared? Being prepared. The extremists we're up against, we know their playbook.
Wow. As soon as I saw her from the beginning, I noticed her, like in the blue. And like I taught you guys last night in the live show, if you haven't seen it, check it out. See the two combination of colors of the blue and purple? Makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? purple and the blue, Tiffany blue and the purple. Phoenician talk, Phoenician talk. But the protesters are underway. The question is, are they orchestrated by somebody? Allegedly, who knows, right? Now check this out. Mass deportation raids could start in Chicago as soon as Tuesday. Let's get another shake on this thing.
And what this is going to look like. But according to the Wall Street Journal, people familiar with the planning say these raids will start on Tuesday, a day after President-elect Donald Trump is once again sworn into office. The report says U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement will send between 100 and 200 officers to Chicago for the operation. The report also says this operation will focus on removing people who are here illegally with criminal backgrounds. This will be the first move in Trump's promised mass deportation campaign. Now, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson have said the city's sanctuary laws forbid CPD from coordinating with ICE, Chicago Public Schools, the Chicago Transit Authority, the Chicago Park District, and community colleges of Chicago have all been directed not to allow ICE access into any of its buildings. Mayor Brandon Johnson addressed the changing presidential administration at an unrelated event on Friday.
At a time when we are in the midst of an administrative transition, we have to be prepared to write the next chapter in America's history.
Yeah, that's my mayor. I don't say that affectionately, but hey, that's my mayor. I think he's bit off more than he can chew. And again, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be checking this thing out. This is going to be something else, people. Man, we're less than, 2 days from this thing? A day and 3/4 away from this thing? Count yourself a blessing you don't live in one of these big cities. I'm telling you, because I'm here. And check this out. This is out in New York. I covered a story like this last year. You guys probably remember I did about 5 or 6 stories about these giant migrant shelters, these big, long farmland tent cities. Well, guess what? New York has one, and the people are getting up out of there right now, going to alternative housing, because this one, my friend, sits on federal land. Check it out.
So we're right outside the Floyd Benefield migrant shelter. We're in South Brooklyn right now. And this is also the only shelter in all of New York City that sits on federal land. So what that means is that the Trump administration could carry out raids here and can turn this into a detention center. Hola, todos listos! These are volunteers from Floyd Benefield Neighbors, a group of 300 local residents who have taken it upon themselves to fight for these migrant families, pushing New York City to shut down the tent complex and have all migrants relocated to safer shelters before Trump returns to power.
We have to fix our broken immigration system.
The shelter officially closed this week. Mayor Eric Adams cited declining migrant arrivals. But for families like Jason Gonzalez's, asylum seekers from Venezuela, leaving these tents was crucial to dodging Trump's deportation threats. They arrived in the U.S. only 2 weeks before Trump was reelected. They left the shelter with the help of the Floyd Benefield Neighbors just weeks before Trump's inauguration.
Their world, a lot of them will never be the same. The mayors of these cities have a big challenge on their hand. This mayor was just meeting with Trump a few days ago. The question is, did he discuss this immigration policy that Trump plans on enacting? He has stated that he is a sanctuary city. I also get the impression that he will cooperate in terms of convicts. But again, people have speculated that he wants a pardon from Trump. So is it let's make a deal time for this particular mayor and the city in relation to the migrants? Or is he going to resist Trump? And this purple right here he got on is speaking to me, amongst other things. And like I said a few minutes ago, their world, our world, but it'll be the same. Whether it's the immigration issue in the big cities, people protesting the administration coming in over their rights, they're coming. Trump is walking up the steps. He's not missing a beat. He's not falling down. Not missing a step. Those days are over with. Like Eddie Murphy said in the movie, 20-some years ago? There's a new sheriff in town, people. A lot of folks have positive expectations. I'm sitting on the sideline with a big caution sign. That's in my left hand. In my right hand, there's a Bible. And I'm saying, Lord, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. When I did my live video a few days ago, I asked you guys about the Biden administration. What kind of grade you would give him? What kind of condition do you think he left us in? You guys gave a resounding D and a F, that it was a failure. I can't argue with it. The policies that Biden had, it's going to be a Herculean challenge to try to clean it up. This is the easy part, and I'll put it in silent, that Trump's got to walk up these stairs. This is the easy part. Remember this moment, timestamp the video. He's on his way to D.C. The hardest part will be implementing the promises that he made. Joe Biden has said, and all over the internet, I've been reading what I've been saying the last few days, that the tech industry is an industry to watch. I concur. But people, let me throw this at you. This is a once-in-a-lifetime administration. Arguably, a president has never had to enter into the White House to clean up so much mess. And at the same time, as I did my research this morning, they're still throwing possible court cases at Trump. How can that be? The atmosphere is still caustic. He's 78 years old. Let him run the country for the sake of the country. I'm gonna say it again. Let him run the country, please, for the sake of the country. I know it's a game on both sides. I know a lot of this is fake people, but at some point, just say how you really feel. Let the man run the country for the sake of the country. Because I'm afraid if we don't get it right in these next 4 years, there'll be nothing to argue about in the next 4. Because the complexion of the next 4 years after this, it's done. And again, is there a tie-in between TikTok going dark for one day and the Middle East going back and forth like a boomerang? My name is Friendshot Pierce. If you like the work, thumbs up. Friendshot Blue in the house. Give a comment, share the video. Let the man run the country. Let the Spirit of the Lord have his way, and we push him like Moses. Hallelujah to that.